Hello everybody, and welcome to day number 5 of the BCR Technique 30-day challenge. So what I'm going to be talking about today is the L.E.E, the Love Energy Entity. Okay, so I was going over yesterday, again, just looking at some more advanced understandings, advanced techniques through the BCR Technique. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing the next stage of the BCR Technique. We're basically just going to tally up a lot of the things that we've been learning here the last couple of days, and then we're going to do another full next stage BCR technique tomorrow. Okay, so that'll be another stage of the BCR technique that you can personally work with. All right, so hello to everybody on the chat. Thank you very much for being here today. So the first thing we're going to do, just before we talk about the love energy entity, which you'll learn to develop today, okay, we want to look into the idea of the breath. Okay, the breath work is very, very important. Okay, so there are some people that come to me who have been doing the BCR technique for quite a while, and they've had great success. But one person contacted me and said that they felt pretty burnt out after the entire process. And a lot of that is very common because we keep doing the cleansing breaths, right? We keep doing a lot of the mouth breathing, right? So we're breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. What happens is that we're not attempting to be forceful with any of the conflicts or traumas that we're going through, right? We're not being forceful in any way. If we are being forceful with the breath, like, oh, I gotta push this out, I gotta push this out, I gotta push this out, and we're constantly doing that, well, basically what happens is we're going to burn out our body pretty quickly, right? So we're not trying to put a lot of effort and pushing a lot of that energy out through an exhaling mouth breath, okay? So remember, we just have to remember those 2 stages of breath that we do here in the new and improved BCR technique, right? The first stage is when you're doing that cleansing breath, right? Breathing into the nose, out to the mouth. This is just to getting you active. This is to getting you into the active, calm state, okay? This is why I say that it's like the bobbing waves, right? So you're getting into that calmness, but there's bobbing waves, right? You feel like you're a cork. Or again, you feel like you're seated on a wooden plank and you're just bobbing in the middle of the ocean with these big waves, okay? So that's the active calm, right? So when we get into the active calm state and we're there, then we don't do that deep cleansing breath anymore, okay? Really, it would only take you about maybe 3 to 5 deep cleansing breaths to really get you into the active state, all right? Maybe a maximum of about 10, okay? But as soon as we get into that active calm, we switch our breath. Okay, and we switch our breath with heart rate variability. Now, here's an important thing as well too. When you first wake up in the morning and you're doing some active work, okay, so maybe you're going for a walk, maybe you're taking a cold shower, whatever it is that's waking yourself up, you can skip the first phase of breath, okay? The only thing that the first phase of breath is doing, that deep cleansing breath, is it's just getting your mind and your body alert and awake and active, okay? If we're already active coming into it, we do not have to do the first phase of breath, okay? So like I said, we check in first, right? We have our notepad here. We check in with everything, okay? So what are we going through physically? What are we going through emotionally? What are we going through mentally? Right? We write that down on our list. And we do this every single day, guys. Okay? We check in with ourselves. It's still a gigantic list that you're creating here, while you keep adding stuff to it. Okay? Like I said, you want to give yourself time to clearing out a lot of these conflicts and traumas each and every single day. Okay? But again, if you're getting up in the morning, right, you may feel pretty exhausted. But you go and you have a cold shower, you give yourself a little bit of a light exercise, and now you're feeling active. So, okay, I'm ready now to do the BCR technique. That's great. So when we start doing the BCR technique after we've done our check-in list, we do not have to do that active form of breathing, that deep cleansing breath, okay? That deep cleansing breath is basically was there from the first version of BCR technique, to waking up the mind, to waking up the body, okay? If the mind and the body are already awoken, we don't need to do that deep cleansing breath. We can just go right into heart rate variability, right? So we go into phase 2. Okay, phase 2 or stage 2, which represents the nasal breathing. Okay, so this is very, very important. right? A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just do a lot of deep cleansing breaths when they're trying to heal themselves and trying to push a lot of this energy out altogether. And that's fine as long as you can, kind of bring in a lot of carbon exchange, okay? So basically what happens if we're doing a lot of this deep breathing, this happens in a lot of different healing techniques as well too, right? Not just through what I offer, but through a lot of others, is if we do this constant deep breathing and then we don't do any other form of activity after that, what's happening is your body is getting too much oxygen and it's not getting enough carbon exchange. Remember, as I've always talked about in the past, that we want to have equivalent exchange, right? So we want to have equivalent exchange regarding oxygen content. We want to have an equivalent exchange regarding carbon content as well too, okay? So if you are oxygenating your blood, if you're oxygenating your body with so much deep breathing, deep cleansing breaths, right? And there's not enough carbon that can match that can meet that, and basically what's going to happen is you're going to go through a burnout, okay? Your body is going to get exhausted. It's going to catch up with you, right? On that day, you may feel pretty good, right? But a couple of days may pass, and because there's not enough oxygen and carbon content exchange, your body is going to go through a burnout. You're going to feel exhausted. You just won't feel like doing anything. You'll just feel like you're just limp, saying, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I'm completely exhausted. Okay? And this is the reason, right? There's nothing wrong with doing a deep cleansing breath, but we want to make sure we're doing carbon exchange, which means we want to get our muscles moving. Okay? We want to get our body moving because that's bringing forward carbon exchange. Okay? Our muscles are now developing the carbon content exchange necessary so that the body evens and balances itself out together. Okay? This is a very common mistake that is done in healing. Right? So again, there's nothing wrong with deep cleansing breaths. You can certainly do them, but make sure you're going for a walk, making sure that you're doing some casual workouts, some casual exercise as well too. Get the muscles moving. Okay? It's very, very important. Otherwise, you can get burnt out. And that's the last thing we want. We feel like we're pushing a lot of this energy out and we're doing deep cleansing breaths and I'm getting all this stuff out, blah, 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 blah. And that's all fine and dandy. But just make sure that you're taking good care of your body, that you're getting a good oxygen and carbon content exchange taking place. Otherwise, you'll burn out. Otherwise, you'll get exhausted. And depending upon the burnout, some of you can be exhausted for a matter of days or even for a matter of weeks before you're actually able to recuperate. Okay? You just won't feel like you want to do anything, right? You'll just feel completely exhausted, completely fatigued, completely burnt out, and like you won't even want to get out of bed. Okay? And you may have to rest for several days straight. That's what happens if we're constantly using the deep cleansing breath. It's okay to use it a little bit here and there, okay? But you're just balancing it out with appropriate activity so that your muscles are again being worked on, so that you're developing the carbon content exchange, so that this thing can balance itself out without the idea of feeling worn out, burnt out, exhausted, or fatigued in the long run. Okay? So that's a very important thing for you guys to know. So when we're doing the first phase of breath, you're mainly doing it because you're just keeping your mind and your body active. Okay? So deep breath in. Exhale. Through the mouth. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Okay? With those 3 deep breaths, I'm already feeling active. I'm feeling good. I'm already feeling the waves of calmness right now. I'm feeling those bobbing waves. I feel like I'm in the middle of the ocean, seated on that wooden plank. Okay? And the waves are bobbing like this, so then I switch the breath to phase 2, heart rate variability. Okay? Breathing in through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing into the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out to the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's all nasal breathing. For the example I gave, 5 seconds in through the nose, 6 seconds out. Okay, but you can start off with 4 seconds in through the nose, 5 seconds out of the nose. Okay, so we just want to add an extra second when we're doing the exhaling breaths through the nose. Okay, so when we're doing phase 2, this is what we're using. We're not using this at all. Okay, So you're going into heart rate variability, and you're again working together with that resonance of the heart. You notice when you're doing this quite a bit how good it feels, right? You're going into the subtle state of being. Okay, you're working together with your heart rate. Your heart rate in that sense is going at a nice lower pace. The vagus nerve is being stimulated. You're stimulating the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, right? And you're going into a very fine balance, okay? A very harmonious resonance. Like I said, Forrest Knudsen talks about this quite a bit. There's quite a few other teachers that talk about this quite a bit. This is all part of, again, ancient yogic breathing as well too, right? We're working with the heart rate variability. This is far greater than just constantly doing the deep cleansing breaths, okay? Deep cleansing breaths are only necessary when we need to make ourselves active. If we're sluggish, right? If we're not really coherent, right? We're feeling that we're still kind of burned out and we did get a good night's sleep, but we need to give ourselves a wake-up call, okay? And that's when you can do some deep cleansing breaths. But really, there shouldn't be any more than about 10 of those deep cleansing breaths. That's all you really need at most, okay? If you're doing 15, 20, well then I would suggest getting up and doing some exercise, okay? Getting up and going to have a cold shower, okay? And just getting yourself active and alert. Cold showers are the best, right? They're great. I use them myself, okay? If I'm feeling like pretty sluggish in the morning, I turn on a cold shower, I go right in. The time I'm done the shower, I feel good. I feel active. My body feels it, right? So when I need to do something like the BCR technique, it's no problem, right? I'm already active and alert thanks to that cold shower, okay? So cold showers, I definitely recommend. Going for a morning jog is good. Doing some yoga stretches is also very good as well too. Just get yourself active, okay? Do not do the BCR technique if you're sluggish, even after you're doing a few of the active breaths, okay? If you're still feeling very sluggish, stop what you're doing. See if you can go have a cold shower, go for a jog, go for a walk. Just get yourself active, okay? We want to make sure we're in an active state before we do the BCR technique, okay? It's very important. All right, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's go into love energy entities, okay? So again, when we've gone into our reinforced space and we've created a beautiful paradise all around us, and it may just be void, like I said. It may just be the idea of a black void that you're staying in, and fine, that can be your paradise too, right? We can basically just be in the state where we're just going right to the self, right? Where we simply are, I am. And that is my harmonious space. Great. Everybody is different, okay? You do what you feel is best for yourself. But nonetheless, with your reinforced space, that reinforced space is serving as the perfect complement for you to accumulate love energy. Okay, that's the most important thing of why we're doing the reinforcement space in the first place. Okay, the capital B and the capital C aren't even really the meat and potatoes of this. Okay, the breath work and the calmness are just setting you up so that you can go into the actual BCR technique, which is reinforcement. Okay, that's the meat and potatoes. That's what we're looking for, right? We want to go into our reinforcement space. We are completely calm, right? We go from active calmness to, again, pure calmness, okay? Or we could look at it as subtle calmness, right? Because we're going into a subtle state. So we could look at that as subtle calmness, where the waves are now completely still. The ocean is still, and we're just seated perfectly still on that wooden plank in the middle of the ocean, and there is no waves. There's nothing that is disturbing us. There are no disturbances at all. Okay, that's when we move from active calmness to subtle calmness. Okay, we want to be in the subtle calmness energy. Okay, you're not going to be pushing out all of these things with great force, with great malice. Okay, we're not doing that when we're working together with our lists, with the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body. Okay, we're letting love take care of it. Like I said, we're not doing any work. Okay, so the only work we're doing is just getting ourselves calm, going into our reinforced space, accumulating love energy directly into ourselves. Again, following that gauge, representing the energy ball. Okay, it feels great, it feels amazing, it feels wonderful. Oh my God, I feel so great, this is wonderful. I feel on top of the mountain, I feel incredible. Great. And now bring that ball back, making it the size of a tennis ball. right? Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And putting that energy ball into your heart, okay? For those of you who have been doing this now from the beginning, you should know the entire process of the BCR technique, okay? This should be natural to you now, right? We're on day number 5. So if you've been here since day 0, okay, this should be pretty natural to you now. If you're doing this daily, okay, you're starting to get the hang of it. Very good. So again, like I said, we make that tennis ball shaped energy ball. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and you're putting it into your chest. More specifically, you're putting it into the heart, okay? And you're just taking a moment there, and you're feeling all of that love energy inside your heart. Because again, like I said, this is the gauge, and all you're doing is you're putting that gauge and bonding it together in oneness with the heart. All of that love energy is already inside the heart, but you're just taking a moment. You're taking a moment to anchor. You're taking a moment to imbue and realize how much of that love energy is in your heart. Remember, we want to make sure it's at the brim, okay? If the heart is at a half-filled potential, is that enough? No, okay? Your heart needs to be completely full, completely. Not half full, not a quarter full, not a 10% full, okay? 100% full. That's what's needed in order for us to go to work, to start working with the love energy personally, okay? So our reinforcement space is doing that, okay? I've been spending the last couple of days telling you guys about the importance of really making your space a great complement to yourself so that you are able to accumulate this love energy into yourself, okay? We're getting high on love. That's the whole idea, okay? If this is our old dense self, where there's a lot of conflicts, there's a lot of harshness, there's a lot of trauma, what we're doing is we're going up here, okay? This is Mount Olympus, okay? This is Mount Everest right up here. So we're in Mount Olympus with the gods. We're up here at the peak of the mountain. We're no longer here in the valley to where all this dense energy, to where all this trauma, to where all this conflict exists. We're up here now. And to be up here requires that full heart, okay? The heart is completely full. It is now filled with love. So now we can utilize it. And this is where we get into the love energy entity. Now, this is completely optional. You guys do not have to do this at all. I'll be getting to your questions here in a couple minutes, guys. I just want to go through the love energy entity firstly, okay? So like I said, this is optional. You do not have to create a love energy entity if you do not want to. If you're completely fine with just talking to your heart, talking to the love energy there, that's fine. Just keep doing that, okay? This is an option. So what I'd like you to do is just having like your notepad here, and I want you to describe what you would feel to be a perfect representative of your love, okay? When you're thinking of the word love, or you're thinking of the word happiness, or you're thinking of the word compassion, what comes up? What arises? Maybe it's an angel, okay? Maybe you see a guardian angel, right? Just this beautiful being of light that's directly before you, okay? Maybe you see a butler. Maybe you see a maid, okay? That works as well too, with that big smiling face that they have. Whatever your love entity is, you are making that your go-to representative, okay? That is your, some people don't like to say servant, okay? But they're your helper. They're your guide, okay? So I don't want to make them a slave. I don't want to make them a servant or anything. Okay, well, you don't have to call it that if you don't want to. Just call it a guide, your helper, okay? They are just a representative of your love energy that is before you, okay? Maybe it's a member of your family, okay? Maybe it is an angel, whatever it is. Maybe it's an animal, right? It could be an animal. It could be a hawk. It could be an eagle. It could be a wolf. It could be anything like that, right? The possibilities are endless. But what you're doing is you're creating a representative that is the manifestation of your accumulated love energy. Okay, so I'll say that again. You are creating a representative that is the manifestation of your accumulated love energy. Okay, that's all you're doing, and this is optional. So let's say, for example, that I made my representative an angel. Okay, So it's an angel just covered in white light. They're androgynous, right? Not male, not female, but they're a beautiful androgynous angel. That is my representative. That is my love energy entity. Okay? So when I'm going into my heart, I'm feeling them there, right? I can feel them inside. Okay? I may still be in my reinforced space, and I'm seeing them appear. And they bow to me, and they say, Master, what can I do for you today? And so now I'm picking up my list. Okay. My physical body, here I have a headache. Okay. So maybe I want to give that representative a name. In this case, I'll just refer to the representative as angel. Okay. So rather than saying love energy, I will call my representative by the name that I give them. Okay. Here's the thing that you want to do. Give them a name. Okay. So when you have a love energy entity, you are giving them their name. Okay. So let's say if you have a wolf here right now, right? So maybe you want to refer to that wolf as Gray, for example. Okay, that's the name you bestowed upon them. So rather than saying love energy, you're saying Gray, heal my headache now. Let it be done. Okay, and now you feel that entity going to work and working with the love energy inside you, and again, therefore getting activity to heal up the headache. Okay, so that's an idea. Right? This is just an option for you guys to do because some of you like to have a face to work with. Okay? Some of you would like to have a body. Some of you would like to have a representative that you would like to have worked with that represents the manifestation of the accumulated love energy that's in your heart. Okay? So in my case, this is representing the angel. Okay? So I would say, angel, clear away my headache. Let it be done. And I can see him bowing, or see him or her bowing, because it's androgynous. Right? See them bowing, and now they go to work. Okay? So you may actually see them do something, or you may just see them disappear, and now you feel the love energy coming through. There's a billion and one things that could happen. Okay? Everybody's different. But nonetheless, I'm using that representative as someone who I can speak to, who I can have an interaction with the love energy. Okay? Some of you may just see a floating orb, right? A floating white orb in the sky. And that would be the entity. I could refer to that as orb. Okay? So orb, clear away my headache. Let it be done. Right? And then I start feeling the activity coming forward and feeling the headache dissolving away within a matter of seconds. Okay? So this is it. This is the simple thing that you're doing. So what you're doing again is you're just taking your notepad, your phone, your tablet, and you're just describing, what would this entity look like? What would I feel would be an entity that would serve me well, that would be the representative of my love energy? You're creating this love energy entity, okay? Now, if you basically want to talk to the heart, talk to the love energy, because this is a second option, and you want to say, love energy, just show me yourself as a form. Show me yourself as a form, okay? And you may close your eyes and you may actually see a form come together. Okay? So you can do this one of two ways. Number one, you can create the entity through your own imagination, which is fine. Number two, you may ask the love energy to show itself through a form. Okay? And a form will appear. Now you still want to give that form a name. Okay? This is like a familiar. Okay? You're creating a familiar representative representing your love energy. Okay? So they can take their own form if you ask of it, or you can create the form for them. Okay? Whatever you wish. It's your love energy, and love energy will not quarrel with you about this. It's love. Love says you can do whatever you want. Do you want me to come as a form? I'll be more than happy to come as a form. Okay? Maybe they come up to you as a big, gigantic pink heart, right? Maybe you call it Pinky. That's fine too. Okay? There's no limits here. It's endless. It's infinite. So you make the decision here. Number one, here's the question we ask ourselves. Do I want to make a love energy entity? Well, you know what? I'm okay with just talking to my heart. Then don't worry about it. Love energy entity scrapped. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, but if the answer is yes, okay, very good. So the second question I need to ask myself, am I going to create this entity through my own imagination, or am I going to talk to the heart and let the heart come up with the form? Okay, that's the decision that you have to make. Say, okay, I'll create the entity. And I've always loved the idea of a white angel. So the white angel will be my representative of the love energy entity. Okay, great. And I decided to talk to the heart. Heart, come together in any form that best represents you. And then it comes forward. Okay? And then you see the form. But all you're doing with this is that you have a representative to speak with, representing love energy. Now again, as you're keeping yourself in the subtle state, right, you're in that nice, low idle, subtle state, and you become more vivid, you can actually have conversations with this entity. Okay? Because like I said, a lot of people want to have a face to talk to. They want to have a presence for them to talk to. And they can go into their heart and they can talk to it, right? Some people prefer that. Or some person may prefer to have a face, to have a body, to have an interaction. And that's completely okay. Okay, we can do that. You may notice that, again, you may decide to alter your love energy entity's appearance from time to time. One day they were a wolf. Day 2, I decided to make them an eagle. Day 3, I decided to make them a dog. Day 4, I decided to make them a cat. Day 5, I decided to make them a white ball of light. Completely fine. Remember what that mantra is? You are creator. You can do what you want. Okay? You can create what you want. You are creator. So please remember this. This is important. All right? This is just an option that is available to you should you want to look into that. Okay? So we'll incorporate that into tomorrow's practice when we're doing the next stage of the BCR and TC technique together. Okay, so tomorrow's a big day. We'll have a longer recording. Okay, this Friday is the New Earth TV Live. Okay, and I'm going to be doing the next day challenge of the BCR technique at 10 a.m. on Friday. Okay, so for about a half hour or so, and then I'll be doing New Earth TV Live right after that. Okay, so yes, just because New Earth TV Live is here doesn't mean I'm not doing this. That challenge will still be there on that day. It'll just be at 10 a.m. on Friday. Okay, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so let me just go to see if there's any quick questions here. And hello, everybody. Okay, Jenna asks, please advise on the best way to stay grounded during BCR. I feel like I'm spinning when I start envisioning the ball of love energy and I end up physically nauseous. Okay, your breath is your grounding. Okay, now if you want to physically root yourself into the earth, then what you may want to do is you may want to go out into like your backyard, for example, right? You have a lawn chair, and if it's a nice day, go outside and go in bare feet and just anchor yourself right into the earth, okay? Put your bare feet there. And I want you to imagine as if 2 cords are coming out through the bottom of your feet and they're connecting to the core of the earth, okay? That's one way you can do it as an additional form of grounding, okay? But the way to ground yourself is the breath, okay? Heart rate variability. Second thing you can do is if you're inside, get a grounding mat, okay? What's actually under my feet right now by this desk is a grounding mat that I do. When I was channeling Adronis, I would always use this, right? Whenever I was channeling him, I would have my feet on this grounding mat, and that would help as well too, okay? So you have a grounding mat that again provides the frequency of the earth, and you're putting your feet on it, okay? So that's an additional form of grounding. If you're feeling too much like you're spinning as well too, okay, this can happen. Anchor yourself with the breath. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the nose. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we only need to do the mouth breathing is if we're not active. If we're feeling sluggish, we're feeling out of sorts, we can ground ourselves with a cleansing breath as well too. Okay, but like I said, all you really need is about 3 to 5 of those quite commonly, okay? But work together with heart rate variability. In through the nose, out through the nose, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, okay? So just add an extra second. So your breath is going to help with grounding you. Additional grounding can again be with the earth, okay? So have a grounding mat or go outside in your backyard in bare feet. Get a lawn chair, right? And just have your bare feet on the ground. Feel those cords connecting directly with the core of the earth and continuing to do your cycling of breathing, okay? Heart rate variability. This can happen, right? Sometimes we get pretty spacey, right? Because there's a lot of energy flowing through us. We want to ground that energy with the breath. And additionally, working together in rooting together with the earth. Okay, so those are the 2 steps you can follow. Also drink some water beforehand. Okay, before and after, drink water. Right? Thank you, Jenna. KS says, on Monday I felt really tired, but yesterday when I did it, I felt more energized and have felt calmer ever since. Even quieter mind, even with some difficult news from a friend yesterday. Feeling good. That's great. That is great news, KS. That is a great success story. So thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. The more that we do this every day, guys, I'm not expecting you to get this the one time. If you've only done BCR technique one time, I don't expect you to feel, oh, Brad, I completely get it. No. You want to do this through repetition. It's like I said, when you guys are doing martial arts, okay? If you're going in for a karate class, you're not just going to instantly manifest a perfect front kick or a perfect side kick or a perfect roundhouse, okay? You got to work with it. You got to build it up, right? You keep practicing, and then your kicks get better. Your punches get better, right? Your form gets better. You get stronger. This is the exact same thing with the BCR technique, okay? You start working with the breath, okay? So you do an active breath at first if you need to. Okay, if you're already active, skip phase 1 breathing. Go right into phase 2, right into heart rate variability, because that's the breath state I recommend the most, more than the active breathing, okay? The mouth breathing. So keep working with this, right? You feel that wave of calmness, right? In the first day I had a bit of a trouble trying to feel that active wave of calmness. But now when I do it again, I can feel it now. I do feel like there's waves, right? And I'm just bobbing in the middle of this ocean. I'm on a wooden plank and I'm feeling these bobbing waves. Good, that's active calm, okay? Now we want to go into subtle calm, okay? And that's where heart rate variability comes in, okay? Breathing in and out through the nose, 4 seconds in, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds in, 6 seconds out, whatever you feel is a good pace for you, okay? It's all just based upon how strong your lungs are, right? As you do that more and more, you'll start to notice, oh, I can do about 10 seconds in and 12 seconds out. Great. Do that as well too, okay? But just build it up over time, right? BCR technique is all about being repetitive. This is not a one-hit wonder. Yeah, I did the BCR technique one time, but it didn't really do too much to me and I gave up. Okay. Did you just go to a karate class just one time and expect it to be a black belt? Right? It's the same principle here. You have to continue to build, right? Like I said yesterday, we're building a foundation. This is a pyramid, okay? As you build a foundation over time, you're going to start building that pyramid that's going to converge at the capstone. And when you're at the capstone, you won't need to go through this long process. You'll have everything imbued together within yourself. You have so much integration within yourself that you just say, okay, here's a sore elbow. My heart is full. Clear it away. And then within seconds, you start to feel the activity, okay? It just becomes so natural to you. I don't need to keep spouting affirmations. I don't need to keep going through rigorous processes. I've already done that, okay? A black belt does not need to go back into a white belt's beginner routine. They're way past that. They're a veteran, okay? That's what you're doing here. You're moving into a healing beginner, a healing novice, into a healing veteran, a healing expert, okay? And again, time will decide that. So the more that you're doing this is helping you to integrate healing. You realize that all I really am having to do is just work with the breath, get myself into calmness, fill up the love, and then command it. That's all I'm doing. Through the breath, I'm anchoring myself. I'm grounding myself through the breath. I'm accumulating love energy into my heart. And now I'm putting it into commands. I'm letting the love energy take care of whatever burdens me. Okay? If there is a burden there, it'll take care of it. I'm at Mount Olympus. I'm with the gods. I'm Zeus right now. Okay? That's it. We're not looking at the lowly mortal anymore because that's where trouble arises. When you're the lowly mortal, you have problems. You're in duality. Okay? When you're in Mount Olympus and you're Zeus, you are non-dual. Okay? You are in the non-dual world. No conflicts. Right? So you are commanding all of those things. You're basically clearing away the mortality of yourself. You're getting out of the dual world. Okay? This is why a lot of people are suffering right now, because they cannot get out of the lowly mortal state. And it's just a state. That's all it is. Right? Because I get that question a bit. Oh, Brad, it's all good about what you're doing, but what about the rest of us lowly mortals? Well, I'd say kill the lowly mortal. Right? Get out of that dualistic world. Right? Here's the valley. Here you are. Down here, as this little mortal. You start doing the BCR technique over time, you're at Mount Olympus. You're at the capstone. You're Zeus. Okay? That's it. And now, as you're Zeus and you're high on love, that love will take care of all those lowly mortal affairs. And now you're clean. That's the whole idea. As soon as you're involved with the lowly mortal affairs, you are unclean because you're in the dualistic world. You see yourself as a fragile body. You see yourself with fragile limitations. You are constantly embellishing the separate self, the ego, and ignorance. Okay? You are unclean. So when you step it up and you're moving up into these heightened states of love, and you're at Mount Olympus with the gods, you're Zeus, you're non-dual now. You have all this love accumulation. Your heart is full. Oh, I have this little thing in my elbow. No problem, gone. I had this old conflict of trauma. No problem, gone. Okay? Because your love energy is so incredibly powerful that that wound of the fear energy of the conflict can't touch you. Right? Here's the hand, and here's what the fear is trying to do. It can't touch the hand. Can't do it. So I'm all the way up here, and it's all the way down here. It can't touch me, right? Because I'm up here, right? And this is the process for everything, okay? Does not matter if you're going through wounds within your body, physically, mentally, emotionally. Does not matter if you have entity attachments. It does not matter at all. As long as you are the lowly mortal sitting down in the valley, you will be compromised to these things. You'll be exposed because your ignorance is making it happen. You're aligned to a separate self. You think yourself to be feeble. You think yourself to be fragile. And so you are. Right? You're just glass waiting to be shattered. You're in a glass house, and those stones are going to get bigger. And now the glass house is going to bust apart. Right? It's going to be shattered, and pieces of you will be everywhere. And now when you're doing the BCR technique, you're regathering those pieces, and you're turning those pieces of fragile glass into a strong diamond. Okay? And the diamond is at the top of Mount Olympus as Zeus. Okay? You are up there. You are the non-dual. You are the appearance of consciousness. You are consciousness. You see how that makes a difference? That's what we're doing here through the BCR technique. I'm helping you to go to Mount Olympus so that you can be Zeus. Okay? That's what we're doing. Best way I can put it. Okay. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, so Cheryl here has a question. Is it normal to receive messages from things in the reinforcement space? This happened to me today. I imagined insects talking to me. Okay. You can. Yeah, sometimes messages do happen. It depends upon the message, of course, right? We're really just attempting to focus, though, right? We're just focusing in our reinforcement space, and we're accumulating love energy. So you can talk to the insects in the space and saying, can you help me accumulate love energy right now? So save your message for now, okay? Tell me your message later. Please just help me with accumulating love energy right now, okay? So it's not to say that we want to ignore that message. We don't. But just instruct your space ahead of time. If you have any message for me, please send it to me afterwards, okay? Get your love energy in you first. So your space will say, sure, no problem, right? And now that love energy will come through. So yes, you can even go into your reinforcement space that is non-BCR related, and you can actually get information from your space, right? You can have your love energy entity come in and tell you things, okay? And like I said, that love energy entity can take any form, All right. So you can go in there, right? You say, I've already done the BCR technique. Great. I feel wonderful. I'm going to spend this time now to go back into my reinforcement space, Brad, and I want to get a message from, go for it. Go for it. Do it. Right? But just when you're focused on the BCR, you're in your reinforcement space to accumulate love. So that's what you need to tell your presence of space to do with you. Say, okay, that's fine. I appreciate the message. Let's just save that till afterwards, okay? Please help me with accumulating love energy right now. That's what I need. No problem. And they'll do it, okay? So that is first and foremost. You're here to do the BCR technique. We're not too interested in messages right now. That can come afterwards. So instruct your space to give it to you after, okay? But yes, that can absolutely happen. You're tuning into your living library, okay, to your own Akasha. So absolutely that can happen. Okay, Leah says, question, if you skip a day, should you do this 2 times the next day? This has been helping with anxiety tremendously. Like I said, you guys can do BCR technique multiple times per day. Okay, this does not have to be just a one-time deal one day. Okay, if you feel good doing BCR technique 3, 4, 5 times a day, then do it. Okay, but like I said, Leah, is that you want to have 30 days. Okay, I don't care if you're just coming into this right now and you're saying, okay, I'm seeing day number 5 for the first time right now with Brad live on YouTube. Okay, good, that's fine. But what I want you to do is from this point forward, I want you to have 30 days. Okay, starting with today and then 29 more days after that. Okay, I want a full 30-day allotment. So maybe I'll go back to day 0. I'll watch that today. I'll go to day number 1. I'll watch that today. I'll go to day number 2. I'll watch that today. Okay, but I still want you to do your 30-day sequence of the BCR technique. So it does not matter if you come in late. Okay, just give yourself 30 days to do the BCR technique at least once a day. Okay, if you miss a day, okay, then yeah, you want to try and reinforce it a lot more. So maybe you don't have to do a second BCR technique on the next day, but maybe you're just prolonging it for a longer time, okay? You're staying in your space a lot longer, okay? It's not about quantity as it is about quality, okay? So you want to make sure that every time you're doing the BCR technique, right, you are doing it in a good quality way, right? How is your list? Is your list being worked on, right? You finding things physically, mentally, emotionally. You're crossing those off the list. You're giving it the check mark, saying, yes, I feel activity with that. That's great, okay? If you skip a day, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. Make it up, okay? So let's say if you're in day number 4 and you have to skip a day, okay? What I would recommend is you add an extra day to your allotment. If I didn't do day number 4, well, then there's going to be a day 31, okay? So that's what you do. That would be my recommendation. If I skip a day, I will add an additional day to my 30-day allotment. That's what I would suggest. And overall, it really is about quality over quantity, okay? If you decide to do it multiple times, make sure the quality of those sessions are very, very good, okay? And it's working with you, right? Really take charge of this. This is you. You are the healer. You are creator, okay? Thank you, Leah. Okay. Yes, I am creator. I can create what I want. That's it. Okay. Jane asks, what is a good company to get the gnat from? The gnat? Not sure what you mean. Oh, the mat. Okay, the mat you mean. It depends. I would just suggest doing a Google search. I just got this from a company in Canada. Not everybody's from Canada. Okay. So I would suggest just doing a Google search. You may be able to find them on Amazon, right? Just simple grounding mats. Okay. There's quite a few places out there. I see you just have to kind of look around. The company I was with was a Canadian company, okay, that does this. I think it was like Earth in Canada or something like that. It was quite a while back. But there's quite a few different companies you can look into. I suggest look at their website, contact their support if you need to, find out the good quality, look at testimonials as well too. But I think Amazon may even have them as well too. So just look around and see what you can find. But it's a good thing to have. If you don't have an earthing mat, if you can't afford it, go out into nature, get a lawn chair, put your bare feet on the grass, anchor those roots into the center of the earth. And again, that's additional anchoring, but the primary state of anchoring is the breath. Okay? Okay, guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap up this episode today, this day number 5. So again, tomorrow, day number 6, we'll be doing the next stage of the BCR technique, accumulating everything we have learned from the previous days. Now, like I said, all you really need is the bare bones BCR technique that you've learned in day number 1. Okay, that's all you really need. Okay, as long as you keep doing those bare bones, you're good. When we're doing the BCR technique in full in the days ahead, these are with add-ons. These are with bonuses. Okay, so I certainly recommend them. But as long as you're doing the bare bones, you're good to go. Okay, so thank you guys, and I'll see you on Mount Olympus as Zeus. Right? Non-dual. That's the way. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow for day number 6. Be well.